Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels good. Because after all, that's what we really want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. Today on the show, we're talking with Victor Mendez, an outreach community health worker, and Danielle Helm, a peer support specialist, both from Family Health Centers. I met them a few weeks ago and some of their colleagues up in Brewster at a community health fair. While I only spoke with them for a few minutes, I learned a lot. And a lot of it was new to me. So I want to share it with you because opioid use and opioid addiction is an issue that is way more prevalent here than I ever realized. The good news is that there are people who can help, which is why I invited my guests on today. This will be an important conversation, so stick around. But before we get to that, I do want to remind you that if you have questions you would like us to answer on or off the air, you can email those directly to me at fletcher@fletcherellingson.com. And if we use your question on the air, I'll send you one of my baseball caps, The Practice of Feeling Good. So if you got a question, send it to me at fletcher@fletcherellingson.com or visit me at my website, fletcherellingson.com, where I've got all sorts of free resources there. You can take the happiness survey or get my free video course called Your Life Is Now. You don't need to suffer and try to figure it all out on your own. As I frequently say on this show, asking for help, asking for assistance or advice, that's a sign of strength. So reach out. There are answers and solutions and ways to get unstuck and move forward powerfully. And that's what we want. We want to move forward. We want that sense of progress because progress feels good. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we're going to be back in a moment to talk with Victor and Danielle from Family Health Centers, so stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here, so glad that you're in this conversation. As you know, I think this is one of the more important conversations where we talk about mindset, where we talk about you. Today, we're talking with Victor Mendez and Danielle Helm. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. You guys drove down from, where is it?
Omak, Washington, coming from Omak.
All right, you're down from Omak, so thanks for making the drive.
No problem.
We're talking about some important things today, and like I mentioned in the first segment, a lot of this stuff was new to me. You kind of hear it in the news, but it was really cool to get to hang out with and really get some more in-depth knowledge about it. So thanks for that education, and I want to bring that to these people too. So for those of us who don't know about Family Health Centers, can you just give us, Danielle, can you just give us a brief summary of what they do?
Well, Family Health Centers is a nonprofit organization. We cover like medical, dental, mental health, and then we have the opioid treatment network.
Got it.
As well. And then we have Advance.
Yeah, we also have a new program starting up called Advance, and they help people a lot with trying to find jobs, putting them up in hotels, housing, so medicals, rides, because that's a big thing a lot of times, because we live in such a rural area out in Omak. A lot of people are coming from way out in the distance. They don't have a ride, so they can't make their appointments. So,
sure.
Yeah, that's
so you guys really are a resource hub for medical, dental,
mental health, opioid treatment.
Opioid treatment, yeah.
Just trying to help people. Like I say, our goal is to make sure that everybody in our community has good health and proper health.
Right on, and support, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. So when we visited up in Brewster, you educated me about opioid addiction and how widespread it is, which was surprising to me. So talk a little bit about that. Like, how widespread is it here in NCW? Where are you guys seeing it?
As being part of the opioid treatment network, we're dealing with people that have an opioid use disorder. We have a low barriers Suboxone or buprenorphine program, and it's medically assisted treatment for people who are addicted to heroin or any type of opiates, whether it be even a pill or. So yeah,
And can you educate me a little bit on that too? Like, what are the forms that people are getting opioids? Is it, you said like it's a pill? Is it something you smoke, inject? Is it, or all of the above?
All of us.
yeah.
Okay.
But right now, I would say that right now, fentanyl is
A big thing.
the big thing, you know, and it's very deadly because they're just compressing these pills in a homemade, you know, whatever, wherever they're making them. And so sometimes people are just getting pure fentanyl. You don't know how much you're getting. And they say it's taking like the kit right here of Narcan, naloxone, it's taking like 3 kits. So that would be like 6 doses to bring a person back.
Whoa.
To
Yeah.
where on a heroin overdose, you know, 1 dose would do. So it's really.
And are opioids typically expensive or inexpensive to get?
I've been hearing fentanyl's pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so people have a wider access to it.
Yeah.
Because it's less money. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. And where are you seeing it? Like, what are the demographics? Is it young people? Is it middle age? Is it older people? Is there a certain demographic, or is it?
Addiction doesn't discriminate like at all. We work with young people. We work with old people. We work with the rich, the poor. You know, you could take a look at some of our patients and never even think they're addicts. You know, it's yeah.
And how addictive is it? Like, is it sometimes like you hear of drugs that you're just like instantly addicted, or can you be like a working professional and have an opioid addiction?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some people that are able to maintain, I guess, what you can call a working habit.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I would say that a heroin addict, for the most part, they kind of like may start off with a working habit, but they're going to fall off somewhere down the line because it just becomes so expensive once you get addicted to it. You have to resort to, for the most part, a lot of times resort to doing crime to support your habit or what have you. And then, of course, crime leads to incarceration, and you get caught up in that vicious cycle.
Right.
Getting addicted, having to maintain that addiction you have, which is very expensive, committing crime. Crime leads to incarceration, and then get out and start it all over again. So,
right.
It can become a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I totally get that. Could you share? We have like just about 3 minutes. Victor, could you share a little bit about your story?
Yeah, I came from a dysfunctional family, hit the streets at a young age, got involved with gangs, and of course started out smoking weed, drinking, and then at the age of 13, I started using heroin. Like I say, get caught up in that vicious cycle. I started committing crime to support my habit. Crime led to incarceration. The next thing you know, 32 years of my life passed by, and I had spent them all in prison, in and out, and pretty much just wasted my whole life, my whole youth.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 10 years clean now, thanks to, well, of course, Narcan saved my life plenty of times, but thanks to buprenorphine, our low barriers program, Suboxone program, and that's what's helped me stay clean and get my life together.
So you had what were the drugs you were taking to help you get clean?
Suboxone, which is also called buprenorphine.
Got it. So you had that, and you also had support. You had right. So tell me a little bit about that other the people support.
Oh God, there's a great program up in OMAC called the Okanagan Behavioral Health Center, and I went to them and I met an amazing counselor named Dina, and she just supported me and told me about Suboxone because I never knew about Suboxone. I'd always been on like methadone or naltrexone. I tried everything in the book to try and get clean,
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until she introduced me to Family Health Centers, which had a program where they did MAP, medically assisted treatment, and helped me through buprenorphine, or the Suboxone as they call it. And yeah, so if it wasn't for those people really helping me and, you know, guiding me, they have what's called intensive outpatient programs. So, you know, because I would go a lot of times to do an inpatient program, but they would say that I was so strung out that they couldn't take me. So it was kind of like, well, I'm trying to find help here, but I'm too strung out on too many different things that they're afraid that I don't know. So, yeah.
So these programs ultimately really made a difference for you.
They do. You know, there's people out there that honestly do care.
Yeah.
And, you know, are trying to support people. And because a lot of times in your addiction, you know, you're afraid to ask for help. Like you were talking about, you know, helping out and stuff. You know, a lot of times an addict in their addiction, they're afraid to get help. They're afraid of maybe having a kick, because that's not fun either. And, you know, or maybe have that aspect of people looking down on you, all that no good, dirty dope fiend and all that stuff, you know. And so it's hard for an addict to come to that point to where, you know, they honestly want to reach out and look for help. And, but, you know, there are people out there that really, truly do care.
Yeah, and
you know,
and that's what you guys are doing now, right?
Yeah.
You guys are there to care and support and be a beacon of inspiration for others, right?
I'd say we've been there, done that, so we're able to relate.
Yes.
You know? And,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
really good, really good. All right, well, we got to take a quick break, but this is a great conversation. Stick around, we'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. I'm Fletcher Ellingson. Today we're visiting with Victor Mendez and Danielle Helm from Family Health Centers with some great information, inspiring stories. And like I said previously, like you guys are here to help support, be a beacon of positivity and possibility for people who are dealing with opioid addiction. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
So one of the things, Danielle, that you guys educated me on when I met with you up in Brewster was this thing called Narcan.
Yes.
Can you, for those of us who don't know what it is, can you just tell us what that is?
Narcan is medicine that rapidly reverses an opioid overdose.
Okay, so someone's got an overdose.
Yes.
They're unconscious. They're not responding. If you have some Narcan around, you and this is the nasal.
Yes. It comes with 2 packs.
Okay.
It comes with 2 packs.
And what do you do? I mean, like.
Well, first you want to give them a chest rub. You know what I mean? Try to wake them up. If they don't wake up, you know, you go for under the nose. And if they still don't wake up, you want to verbally tell them that you're going to Narcan them, because someone that's not overdosing doesn't want to be Narcaned. So you take it out of the package and then you put it up their nose and spray it, the whole thing. And they should come to within 2 to 3 minutes. And if not, then you give them the second dose.
Got it.
And when they come to, like, back to reality, you tell them, you know, hey, what just happened? Like, help us on the way. You don't want them to use again, because this stuff can wear off.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I think you said like there's 2 sprays worth in this. Is that accurate, or
There's
just
one spray in this one, and then there's another one in this
Oh,
one.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so
got
it comes
it.
with 2 kits.
Okay, and you do one the first time, and see if that's enough. Okay, and if it's not, then you do another one.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So this is called Narcan.
Yep.
And this is something that can save somebody's life,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
And then after they've been revived, you take them to the hospital?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Call
all right.
911 usually immediately after you give them Narcan.
Okay. And you said this can wear off.
Yes.
Like, do you know, like, how soon does it wear off? Do you?
I think it's 30 to 90 minutes.
Yeah, somewhere in that time.
Okay.
It just depends
Yeah.
on the person.
And does that mean that, like, after it wears off, they are then affected by the opioid again?
Yeah,
Okay.
they fall
got it.
back into an overdose, yes.
Okay, so they can either even go back into an overdose state. Okay, got it. So this is really important to have. And you guys gave me some when I was up in Brewster, and I was just sharing. I carried it in my car because you never know.
Yeah,
That's
no.
it.
Right, and just like we were talking before, the idea, I think a lot of the public may have an idea of the type of person that would use opioids, but you really can't. You just don't know. It could be anybody.
It could be your mother, you could be your brother. You know,
Exactly, right?
It doesn't have to just intentionally be a heroin, use or something like that. It could be the doctor prescribing your grandmother some pain pills,
Yep.
becoming addicted
right.
to pain pills.
Yeah.
And, maybe grandma that night she has a little wine with her dinner. That's a bad combination with the opioids. And she ODs. You have that medicine, you can bring her back while the paramedics are coming. Sometimes the paramedics can take, depending where you're at, half hour or more.
Yeah, we're all rural here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the main thing, too, I wanted to point out, when you're giving someone Narcan or naloxone, what you also want to do in between while you're waiting, you want to give them chest compressions.
Oh, okay.
And this time, because a lot of people, because of the COVID. But if you're familiar with the person, you can give them mouth to mouth, because you want to keep air going to that person's brain. Because if not, they can come out of the OD. I've seen a lot of people, they'll come out of the OD, no one's giving them life press or chest compressions, and they come out with brain damage.
Yeah, that's a really good point you mentioned, because, and I don't know much about any of this, but one of the things I learned about OD, because I never even really understood what overdose meant, but it's a point where your respiratory system becomes so depressed that you stop breathing, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And so what you're just saying is like, you got to keep that
Gotta keep
oxygen
going
and
to
the
that
blood
brain.
moving. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, good. So let's, and the other point you guys brought up was that it could be accidental. I mean, it could be somebody who's taking a pill that they don't realize that it's laced with fentanyl or something.
Yeah.
Right? They think it's something else.
That's it.
So,
And they're putting fentanyl on everything nowadays. It's coming in pill form, it's coming in the heroin, it's coming in the cocaine. They're putting fentanyl on everything. So,
and this is to increase the levels of dependency on these drugs, right?
that's it. Keep them coming back. Keep
Yeah.
the customer coming back. Make that money. That's what it's all about to the dealer.
Right. So, Danielle, where can people get some of these?
Well, you can get a hold of Victor.
Yes, you can get a hold of me at vmendez@fhc.us, or you can personally call my work phone at 509-588-7925, and I'll be more than happy to get you naloxone or Narcan. No questions asked. Everything's confidential. Here in Wenatchee, you have the Alano Club at 213 North Chelan Avenue. They have a vending machine there. You can go get you some Narcan. We tell people, keep it in your car, keep it at home, close, because you just never know, and it does save lives.
Yeah, and so that was the Alano Club. If you're in the Wenatchee area, the Alano Club has a vending machine where you can get Narcan. And if you have teenagers, none of us want to see our teenagers go through something like this, but we've all been there. We've all done stuff, So what a great idea just to have some of this on hand. God forbid, but if something ever happened to your kid and you had this, it could be a lifesaver.
Yes.
So this also comes in a different form too, right? Like, wasn't there
Intramuscular.
Intramuscular, yeah, because I believe you guys gave me one of those as well. But this one is just super easy. You just put it in their nose.
Yeah, a lot of people like
Yeah.
this more than having to deal with the needle or something like that. So
Yeah.
this is more.
So tell me a little bit, when somebody reaches out to Family Health Centers and they're like, hey, you know what, I want to make some changes in my life. I want to get off this stuff. What's the success rate, or do you have some success stories that you see? I mean, do you see people dealing with it? I mean, Victor, you shared your story, which is super cool, right? Impressive and inspiring. But tell me, can one of you speak to that?
Yeah, I'd say that Family Health Centers, the Opioid Treatment Network, we do have a down the middle rate, 50-50s of success stories, you know, of people actually, you know, giving buprenorphine or Suboxone a chance. They say that if you give Suboxone 1 year, if you stay on Suboxone for 1 year, that your chances of actually getting off everything and getting your life together, which means, you know, for a lot of people going back to work,
Yeah.
you know, some people have never even had a job, or, you know, doing things in life like becoming responsible, paying bills, paying your rent, you know, stuff like that. A lot of times when you're in your addiction, you don't know nothing about that because all your money's just going straight to your habit.
Right.
So, you know, and we do have some good success stories out there of people coming back. And of course, we keep track of them also, too, because they're continually coming into the office and checking out.
Sure.
And, you know, so yeah, I'd give it a 50-50.
And I imagine that mindset has got to play a big part of that, right? And kind of surrounding yourself with people who have your back and who are looking out for you. Is it? Yes.
Yeah, you know, depending on what you want to do, you can do the 12-step programs, you know. Also, like I was telling you, OBHC, they have a lot of intensive outpatient programs, so you can go to these classes, you know, on a weekly basis or whatever, and, you know, you find support there.
Yeah.
You know, you just, of course, want to surround yourself with people that are on the same page with you,
Yep.
you know, and like you say, have your back, trying to help you to succeed in your recovery.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then at OTN, we have them continually coming back, doing checkups on them because we want to see how they're doing it. And, you know, Danielle could talk more to that because I started out as a recovery coach, but now I do outreach.
Oh, nice.
Where I do outreach where I get Narcan and naloxone out in the community, train people in its proper use. And so I'm not in the office anymore, actually doing the recovery coach.
Got it.
But yeah.
Well, we just have a few seconds more. So first of all, I want to just thank you guys for being here, sharing this information. And I want people to know that, like, there are resources, right?
Yes.
And you guys are real human beings. You've got experience with this. You want for people to be able to get to that next level where they can begin improving their life and getting their life back. So thanks for what you do, first of all. It's awesome that you are doing this, making a difference for people. And so if you have any questions, get in touch. Family Health Centers. Look them up online. They're there too. They're up in OMAC. Have a conversation. It may sound scary or uncomfortable. Do it anyway. All right. Now it's time to get out there. Be a source of kindness. Be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.
Amen.